Welcome back to Welsh Miniature Boardgamer, and today we're going to have a go at making some board planking for our miniatures. So here's what you'll need. So you'll need bases, any type of base, some coffee stirrers, clippers and some super glue. Preferably gel super glue, but if you haven't got gel super glue, normal super glue will work. So you cut your coffee stirrers to random sizes and glue them into place. Do it in sort of a brickwork pattern, so one full plank, two cut pieces, one full plank, two cut pieces, in order to get that join and show that it is plank working. And you might want to keep the planks actually quite open, the gaps, so that they'll show up a bit more, because if you push them right together, it might not show up as well once you've painted it all up. So leave a few little gaps, and that's our first one done. We're like a minute into this video and that's the first one done. I specifically haven't edited this video too much. I recorded it on double speed, so you can see how quickly you can put these together. So I did the first one in 1 minute, so double speed, so that means it actually took me 2 minutes to make one base. So you can see how quickly this can be done. You could do a whole army or a skirmish warband in a matter of half hour. So here we are on a square base. The first one was a WizKids circular base, one of those flat ones. This is a Warhammer old school square base, and as you can see, it works equally well on any type of base. So we don't worry about overhanging or pieces which sort of just hanging off the edges like this. As long as they're on there and they're stuck down tight, we'll come to clean it up later. So here we are on a more traditional circular base, which has been used well before by the looks on their basing, and based on the colour scheme I'm guessing it was an old fantasy battles miniature. So make sure that they're firmly stuck down. Quite a big gap in that one, but it'll be alright. It'll look okay when we're finished. Like I said, a few variations in sizes in the gaps will make it a bit more interesting when you come to paint it up. And that's the 3 of them done in 3.5 minutes in double speed. So that's 7 minutes and I've done 3. So now I go back to the first one that I did, so the glue's fully cured, and I just go around the miniature, clipping off the planking. So you're better to snip at it instead of trying to cut it off all in one go, because that might pull off the planks. But if you snip at it, the coffee stirrers will just break up nicely. So there you go. Oh, already done. And then we go back around it. The next one. Now, because these are beveled, you want to cut it at the angle of the bevel, so lean your clippers at the angle of the bevel of the stand so that you aren't leaving a ledge. And here it is. And we're almost done. That's how simple this is. So, because this is such a quick video, I'll even show you how to connect your miniatures to these bases once they are done. Now I suggest, once you've done this part, you give them a sand down. So find yourself some sandpaper or file, but this is a bit of an optional extra. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. It just make it a bit smoother. then I would suggest before you pin your miniature to the stand, you paint the stand first. So, just so you know, paint the miniature separate and paint the stand first, and then come back and rejoin them, so you do the pinning last. This will make sure that you don't have troubles trying to paint all of the stand. It just makes everything much easier. I don't do it because I wanted to show you how to pin. So next we're scoring the planks with a scalpel, just to make a bit more, to widen the wood texture, to make it a little bit more interesting. You don't have to do this, but it does leave them the base looking a little bit more wood-like. So you just gently drag your scalpel across the planks, doing quick, sharp jabs. Try not to stab yourself. So that's them at this point, and they look a bit ragtag, but that's because they're not painted yet. Okay, so now we go and get a paper clip and a pin vise. And again, we'll need super glue as well, but apart from that, we've got all the tools then that we need. And the clippers. Don't forget your clippers. So we get your model, find a foot which looks like it should be on the ground, and try and go up through the foot, up just a few millimeters, maybe not quite as far as his ankle. I go a little bit far here, but it won't matter. Once I paint it, you won't be able to see the mistake I made. So I push the pin in when I think I got the hole wide enough. So I widen the hole by moving the pin vise around with the drill bit. There you go, and I pushed it in. Now you might see that the plastic by here is strained, but it hasn't actually gone through, so I'm alright with that because I can paint over it. So once I got the pin in place, I know that's the length I want, so I cut it off. So the best thing to do is put the glue in the hole or on the pin, as I do next time, then push the pin in. There you go, and you've pinned your first miniature. Now this will give a good contact point with the base, instead of trying to glue the feet to the bottom of the to the top of the base. So it's got something extra to grip onto. It's not just the flat miniature standing on the flat base, especially because the wood is porous and it'll soak up some of the glue. So I've done the same thing here, making sure that my pin fits. Now this time I go a bit wiser. This is the way you should do it. Put a bit of glue on your pin and push the pin into the foot. There you go, like that. And then snip off the length you want. So a couple of millimeters, and that's that done. So as you can see, that was a lot quicker than the first way I did it. Now I'm measuring them up to see where roughly I'm going to want them, how I'm going to want them to stand. Get a bit of the glue that's on my table. So yeah, I've decided I want him to stand that way. So I try and remember where it was, and I drill a hole through the planks and the base, trying to go a little bit slower because you don't want the wood to splinter too much. And I go through at slightly different angles to make sure I made the hole a little bit wider, because my drill bit wasn't quite wide enough. So I put the glue on the feet and then push him into the hole I've made. So I push the pin into the thing, and there he is, he's done. And now that's such a secure bond that there's no way that'll ever come off. You're more likely to lose legs before you lose that joint. So again, I try and find where I want him to stand on the base. I go drill into the base and the wood, and I go in a couple of times into the same hole, just widening it slightly because my paper clips are quite thick paper clips. I put a teeny bit of glue on all the contact points, including the pin. And there he goes. My treasure hunter for Frostgrave is finished. So I'll give you a quick rundown on how I painted the bases. So first of all, I painted it all black. Then I did a dry brush of beige brown, heavy skin tone, and then sand. Basically you just want to go lighter and lighter and lighter. Here are a couple of miniatures I've put in just so you can see what they look like on the bases. So if you've enjoyed this, please leave a like or a comment, and please subscribe. Thank you very much, and goodbye.